days. Man, let me get settled. Yeah, I know that money calling. Red eye flight might just get back in the morning. You can call me when you need me. Now we ain't being greedy. What's going on out there, YouTube world? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Man, I want to thank everybody that's tuned into this YouTube channel. We got people from everywhere, all over the world, man. I'm talking about we got Pakistan, we got Saudi Arabia, we got Australia, Dubai. We got so many people in this live, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We got a lot going on. This is gonna be a great show, man. Send this link out, man. Send this link out right now. I'm gonna give y'all some time to send it out, and we're gonna listen. I'm gonna get ready to Shazam this. Check it out. Send a link out. Fresh Taste Group, Fresh Sales Foundation. Every time that phone rings, money calling, red eye flight, might just get back in the morning. You can call me when you need me. We live. Send a link out, man. We live on YouTube Global. We in 32 countries right now. Streaming live. It's going down. Send the link out. Send the link out. It's a great show today, man. We got some great things popping, man. Are y'all ready? Where do we start, man? All right. Enough of that, man. Today's show is a special show, man, because it's about a special topic that I think a lot of us black people do not want to talk about. We hate talking about it because it's the elephant in the room, right? And it's about having a trade. Do you have a trade? Is a trade necessary in this day and time? And how important is it for it specifically? We're talking about a specific targeted area of black people. Do black people need to have trades? Is it important? Does it matter? Do you need to have a trade? Is it important? I believe it is. If you guys don't know a little tad bit of information about Stay Fresh, I am a licensed electrician. Pakistan, I see y'all in here. I'm a licensed electrician, right? We're talking about trades today for the city of Atlanta, right? And how hard it is for me with sickle cell leukemia, with sickle cell disease, raising awareness for people with sickle cell leukemia and cancer, how hard it is to keep a job. And what I mean by keep a job is not that I don't want to work or that we can't work. It means that if you're ill or you're sick, it's hard for you to keep a job steady because of your medical condition. Just imagine if you had sickle cell leukemia and cancer and you tried to keep a steady job. When you get sick as an employer, as me having a small business myself, I understand attendance and how important it is to make sure that you show up. And if I had an employee that had said disease such as sickle cell leukemia and cancer, I would also understand that that would be hard for me to pay someone to be sick and not be on the job. So it's a double-edged sword that takes a lot of compassion. And we all know to have compassion means that it costs to care. And by cost to care, it's easier to help somebody with your actions than it is to put financial dollars behind. And I want to make sure we understand that. So all of my black community and people with pre-existing conditions, period, I think this is very important for us to understand how important the trade is. Not only the fact that they are now LabCorp and Quest Labs are now testing for synthetic urine. So just imagine if you were about to fill out an application in a job. You know, in the inner city black areas, we smoke marijuana, self-medicating, which I'm an advocate for THC, me having sickle cell, but in our black inner city community, you know, they're testing for THC and that can disqualify you from a job. And if you can't use your synthetic urine anymore and you don't have a trade where you can actually do something with your hands, it's going to be pretty hard in the future for our next generation, this generation coming forward, because we're too busy trying to be creative and we're not having a trade that actually applies to society and being a benefit to society as a whole. So I think we need to take a look back and look at this and understand how important it is to make sure that we have the right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to prepare our communities for the future. Because if we don't, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be unbelievable. And I think it's important for us to understand how important it is to keep an eye on the future, right? No matter what lane or life you're in, no matter what you do, white, black, Asian, Jew, Muslim, Christian, homosexual, straight, heterosexual, it's important to have a trade Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, no one's here to take care of you but yourself. And if you don't seek this knowledge, right, because you're going to have to do two things. Once again, I'm not talking out of cap. I'm talking because I'm a certified electrician. So we're talking about trades today, brother. We're talking about how important having a trade is and how important it is to have multiple streams of income. Even with me being an executive producer, I understand that me having a trade, being an electrician, is important for the simple fact that if I don't have an extra stream of income, it makes it entirely more harder for me to have a certain quality of life. And I think having sickle cell, leukemia, and cancer, this is important to talk about. Not only on the medical side, but in the underserviced, underprivileged side of our communities, by not having anyone who's going to keep it real, because everybody's putting forward this facade that you know they making it or that they got it, and that's not necessarily true for every community and every black community that we got. We have to. I have sickle cell, by the way. SK, I have sickle cell, but what we're talking about is making sure that you secure your future, because no one's coming to rescue you. And I'm not talking in a bad, depressing way. I'm not saying that people should rescue you. We have to take expectations out of dealing with humanity so we won't hate humanity. But we do have to have open, clear, communicative conversations that give an open forum to let our black community know and our underprivileged, underserviced communities know that it's okay to go get a trade, right? Everybody wants to rap, everybody wants to do music, but at some point in time, you got to step back and say, yo, listen, I might need to rearrange, just have something to fall back on and not be afraid to work. Due to the glamorous looks of society, everybody is afraid to actually work, right? To actually work for what they want, to do what they have to do to survive, to take care of their families. Having sickle cell, it is extremely harder for me, because even if I work, I'm going to get sick. You're going to lose your job. You got to have a certain type of corporate structure to your work where people understand the condition and are willing to work with you, because sickle cell patients are people who have their lives on the line. 9 times out of 10 are harder workers. They're going to work hard. They're going to show up because they understand how important getting things done really is, because we don't have time or the luxury to waste being sick or having a pre-existing condition. You don't have the choice. Insurance doesn't take excuses. Walgreens, CVS is not going to take the excuse. So if you don't make it in entertainment, or what are you going to do, right? And so that's why I established Fresh Sales Foundation and the Fresh Taste Group, to give myself enough freedom to be creative, but at the same time spread the clear, decisive message to the black community that you have to get out there and get a trade. You can become a mechanic, a carpenter, a plumber, once again, an electrician, right? You can do anything. Don't let the game trick you off the streets, because it happens all the time. And at the end of the day, if we're not focused enough and worried about taking care of our next generation and having the time and structure and opinions, right, to tell the truth, because telling the truth is not popular. This live is not going to be popular because you're telling somebody to get a job or have a trade. I'm just telling people that our community is underserviced and that we have these jobs, and then we get mad when the Hispanic population comes over and fill these jobs, and now we don't have jobs, and now we're complaining. We have to really, really, really understand that if we're not a part of the solution, we're part of the problem. And if we're not going to sit down and learn the algorithm, meaning time, right? If we're not going to get in on the algorithm, you better get you a trade. Get you a trade. If you're not on the algorithm, get you a trade. If you're not going to go to work, get you a trade. It's okay, because guess what? You got to pay for your digital marketing, your management, your flyer, your design. All these are things that you have to have in place. Period. Blind, deaf, dumb, or crazy, whether you believe it or not, if you want to be successful in entertainment. And so when you ask yourself, you're spending these exorbitant dollars trying to be famous, what are you actually doing in real life to secure your future and your family? And are you applying your skill set that you have to the future? Do you care about digital real estate? Do you care about Ohm's Law, Watt's Law? Do you care about understanding how the algorithm works, understanding Google ads? Do you understand digital real estate? Is that important to you? Or is just the fluff side of entertainment, stepping out, being pretty, right? Is your credit clean? All these things apply to entertainment, meaning that you're going to have one, or if not all, to be successful. You're going to have you some good credit. You're going to have you a stable job to invest in whatever you're going to do. Because whether you believe it or not, times are hard. And a lot of people are not discussing this. At the end of the day, the best advice for a teenager, I would say learn coding. Anybody that's younger than me right now watching this live, I would learn coding. That would be my best advice to you guys for the algorithm. Learn coding, get you a trade in coding, understand the algorithm. That's where it's going. And for my young black men, if you guys don't understand where to go, get you a hard trade. Get you a hard trade, man. Don't be scared to go to school, step off away and become a apprentice under a plumber. The pipe's going to forever be there. Ohm's law, Watt's law, become an electrician. Because guess what? Them electric wires going to always be there. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. They going to be there. The infrastructure going to be there. That music and shit is going to be there. Right? But you wasting your time and hoping and praying and dreaming for that hit is like someone addicted to drugs chasing a high. Right? And this is coming from a person that's not telling you this from ill experience. I am an electrician. I am also a director, a producer. I have signed Trillville, Scrappy, Crime Mob. We made the Nay Nay, right? But with me having sickle cell, I don't have a normal life, meaning I can't make excuses, meaning I have to go hard, be more, do more. And that takes sitting down, understanding how to learn and put things in your mind, right? And when you know what you know, you know what you know. And when you don't know what you know, you do not know what you know. And at the end of the day, you gotta understand how important it is to stay authentic to yourself and run your race. Because 9 times out of 10, if you keep your head down in the books and get you a trade and learn something, it'll put you 2 years ahead of anybody that's out there capping. 2 whole years, you'll be ahead of anybody around you that's doing talking or trying to be a star, right? You gotta have financial stability to be a star. You gotta be able to pay your flyer guy, your promotion team. You gotta run ads. So if you're not doing that, what you gonna do? Even if you want to have a great cause like the Fresh Sales Foundation, you got to have money. You got to have money to spread awareness, carrying cost. The biggest cost might be your time. It might be some financial giving, but regardless, carrying cost. And I believe it's time for us to be transparent with the next generation and stop lying, because there's so much cap. You don't know the top, the lid. It's just so much of it. We don't know what's going on. And we don't understand how that affects our community by simply not having the transparency that we need to tell our community it's okay to get a trade. It's okay to have a job. It's okay to have something to fall back on. It's okay to apply yourself to society and understand what are going to be the trades of the future. Is it going to be coding? Is it going to be Ohm's law, Watt's law? Is it going to be technology? Is it going to be AI? Are we going to have AI interfaces? How do I apply my skill to the future? And am I going to take the time out to do it? I appreciate everybody that's in this live right now. If you guys don't know, we are Fresh Taste, Fresh Sales Foundation, StayFreshATL page where philanthropy, healthcare, and entertainment intersect. And guess what, guys? June 21st, we're having our 4th annual Roll for a Cure sickle cell tournament. It's a beautiful tournament that raises awareness for sickle cell, leukemia, and cancer, and all those with predisposed conditions in our community. It's going to be at Bolero in Atlantic Station. This is going to be so beautiful, man. I want you guys to come out. We're going to have a lot of people, nurses, doctors. Shout out to Shiggy. Shout out to We Are Tunes, the creators of the Nene, Scrappy, Trillville, Crime Mob. We're going to have Marvin Arrington Jr., which is the Fulton County Commissioner. Thank you to the Fulton County Sheriff, Mr. Labatt, for actually giving us security and having us some sheriffs there. And Bolero Corporations. Bolero, I appreciate you guys. This is the 4th annual year that we did this. And it's important that we raise awareness and show people that if you want to change things, we have to stop complaining. We have to stop whining about it and grinding about it, meaning that we got to get out here and be the change we want to see. And by being the change we want to see is, I started this 4 years ago because I noticed that there were no foundations that did events that were focused on what were really the big elephants in the room with our dealing with sickle cell and leukemia and cancer. What are the elephants in the room? Why aren't they talking about these things? Why do they make it all about fun? And like, let's talk about the mothers, right, that lose their jobs, that don't have enough money to go to a bowling alley, yet longer movie theater to have fun with a sick child because they're too busy working and afraid to lose their job. Let's talk about the first responders that are tired, that have seen so much death, that have seen so much stress, that have seen so much heartache and pain. Let's talk about the family members that go through these heart-wrenching choices to pick between food and let's see how we can attack these things, right? Let's come out, take some pictures, and have a good time, but let's see the faces of the nurses and the doctors that see these patients in the hospital, right? Let's see them smiling and up on their feet and celebrating life. We deal with so much pain and stress. It's time for us to take a load off, kick back, and enjoy the life that we have here and be the change we want to see. So guess what? What I want you guys to go do, June 21st, click the link in the bio, StayFreshATL across all platforms, RSVP, click the link, fill out the information, and guess what? You'll be in the house live with us and all of our celebrity friends, and we're going to be doing some amazing things to save lives for those suffering from sickle cell, leukemia, and cancer. So back to the topic at hand, trade, right? Get you a trade, man. Do not be afraid to get you a trade. That is going to be our topic for today. Don't be afraid to get you a trade, especially in the Black community. It's so many things you could do. We have put our actual digital course together. It's in the link is in the bio, StayFreshATL, where we're pairing people who really want to learn. This ain't for everybody, right? Because, you know, the internet is funny. This is for the people who really want to learn a trade that's going to be applicable to the future, right? That's applicable now, but definitely applicable to the future where they're going to need bodies. We're going to pair you guys with independent contractors where you can get your apprenticeship, where you can learn, where you can actually get out here and get real world experience. Because it's one thing for a guru to sit here on the internet and spill regurgitated lines that they have read off some book, but it's another whole nother can of worms when you got to get out here and actually make it happen and connect the dots. And that's what we do at the Fresh Taste Group, where we vertically integrate brands, people, and places all across several sectors. And what we want to do is talk to the underserviced Black community and get out here and make sure that we be the change we want to see. Make sure that we pair the right people with people who want to learn, not people who want to tear down, not people who want to hate, not maliciousness. It's enough of that in the world. I've spent over 3,000 days in the hospital. My skin is so thick. There's nothing that I haven't heard or seen or experienced with treachery, with backbiting, with negative. I've experienced it all. All I'm here to do is give the message to those who want to hear the message and need the help. It's a way. Because guess what? I guarantee you it's easier for us to get online and get a sex worker to show up at this location than it is to get online and get the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that we need for the future. I promise you this. That's the reality. It's easier for me to order a prostitute, a sex worker, than it is for a Black man to get a loan in the United States of America. It's easier for me to become a drug dealer than it is for me to go get the resources from my community for tax-paying citizens to find a job. This is the reality. This is the sad thing that's going on in America, right? No matter how talented you are, no matter how smart you are, the real joke is on the American citizens. The real joke is on us because we've been let down by our institutions and our foundations. And that's why we're at this point where we have to represent ourselves. We have to get out here and be the change we want to see. Because if we don't, we're all going to perish because there's no compassion being added to the binary code. There is nobody there speaking truth to power. And there is nobody showing people the truth. Because that's the truth of the matter. I can get online and order me a sex worker faster than I can get online and find out help to get a loan. Yeah. I got to go through more certifications and verifications to get a loan than it is for me to order a human sex worker. That's the state we live in America. But nobody wants to talk about this because they think this is a joke. At the end of the day, anything you start, you want to be the change that you want to see. So if you look up and you see everybody talking about all the bullshit and order now and click here and buy now, right? I really want to see a person click here and buy now, but be the change they want to see, meaning get out here and show me. Everything that I talk about and I do are all in my stories. Everything that I talk about and do are all in the videos that we have thousands of views upon. People watch them, they comment, they understand. I'm not just talking about something. I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. I'm out being the change I want to see. And all I want to do is see everybody do that. So I'm going to thank you to our partners over at Fresh Sales Foundation, of course, East Point Printing, Fresh Sales Foundation, and all those people who actually open their hearts and minds to understanding this a different way. And there are multiple things we could do to get out here to change the world, but it starts with us. And if it don't start with you, then who? If not now, then when? Do we constantly sit back and watch this bullshit affect our community and vote and smile and think that it's all good? We have to vote our interests and not our emotion. We have to get out here and see who's responsible and get our head out our ass, because that's where it is. It's up there so far that we really think people care about what you got going on. Nobody cares if you don't make them care. So at the end of the day, I think it's time to be the change you want to see. Be proactive and not reactive. We respond a lot in the black community to a lot of shit when all we got to do is just sit down and do a little research, do a little studying, and actually come up with some hypotheses, and then we can get to some solutions. And simple. But if we don't tell the truth to each other and keep it 100, then we lost. It's easier for me to get drugs than it is for me to get help for addiction. At the end of the day, man, what I think we need to do is partner up. If you got ideas, bring them to the table. I'm open. I'm not hard to find. We've sold over 10 million records. We've been all over the world. And one thing I do know is nobody cares about you if you don't care about you. Society will not care about us if we don't care about us. So at the end of the day, let's get out here and be the change you want to see. That's all I ask. And if y'all didn't RSVP for the bowling tournament, the 4th annual, then y'all don't know what y'all missing. Young black man, young black woman, go get y'all a trade, please, man. That's all I ask. Don't put all your eggs in the basket of I'ma make it in entertainment, right? Because even if you make it, you still gotta work. And that's coming from someone who is technically, in people's eyes, so-called made it and had a few hits in the entertainment industry and has a publishing catalog that I can leave over and royalties and things of that nature. In a pool of things is minuscule. The most important thing is to have you a trade. Have you a trade, man. That's all I'm saying. This ain't somebody talking to you that's capping. That's all I'm saying. Get you a trade, man, please. If not, then you're going to wake up in 10 years and be like, God damn, I didn't apply myself, and now the world has totally changed. And now the musical chairs, your ass is left without a seat because you didn't want to sit your ass down and go read. So if you chop this up, take that out the message. Young black world. Young world, period. It's up to y'all, man. Because I done seen the powers that be, and I done been in the halls of power, and they do not give a fuck. I'm going to just keep 100 with you. I'm going to leave you with this thought. You watching this. If you were paid $30,000 a year and somebody was lobbying for their interests and gave you a check for $100,000 to vote a certain way, would you do it? That's the moral quagmire that we're in our state right now. We have people in power that are getting paid less than drug dealers. We have teachers who are in charge of the future who are getting paid less than pennies. We have a nursing system that is underpaid, underserved as people are retiring. And the people that make these laws get paid pennies on state level, local level. And you wonder why the budget is stolen? Think about it. Who would you worry about if you had power? Woo, that's deep. Yo, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Check us out. Freddie Kelly is out on all digital platforms. Fresh Taste Group, man. I'm done preaching, y'all. I'm about to get out here and go make it happen in the real world. Y'all stay tuned, man. Like, subscribe, and share. Fresh Sales, Fresh Taste, StayFreshATL. I'm out. Don't need no shopping spree. She just want to chill. Get you a trade, man. Don't be scared, black man. Keep it real, she just wanna cheat.
own money, got a